That one right there hurt me, man. After that, I was like, oh, this is some different type of shit Slim doing.
Hey man,
So,
that nigga there been his him nigga in cash and a big ass gun on him. Like, this nigga always had a big 50 like a Desert Eagle, like hanging out his shorts and shit on some. This nigga always
Florida
been
nigga
Florida.
shit.
Florida
Straight
as hell.
Florida nigga shit. Yeah, that's,
I'm talking
you know what
about
I'm saying?
big gun and some flip flops on. I'm like, nigga, if you get in a running situation, you
Yeah, it's over with. You better be ready to bust that big motherfucker. Pause. You
yeah,
know
man.
what I'm
But that
saying?
shit, the crazy part why that shit was going on, that's when I first started. That shit had air. He was already a star. You know, back then, if you did that shit, that nigga was coming back off the road, band up, and they'll be like, please do the song. It'll be the middle of amateur night. That nigga come up there, then he'll do some new shit. They go crazy again. I'm like, God damn. I just remember Benji Brown used to rip that motherfucker. I don't know if you ever seen Benji Brown in a live
I
club.
ain't never seen Benji on Comic View, but I've seen Benji in person. And that nigga is hilarious. See, it's like them Def Jam episodes I remember distinctly because, you know what I'm saying, like Mike Epps on Def Jam.
Yeah.
When he had Tiny List on there, when that nigga said, how come all the niggas in the hood run with the pistol down low like this? Like that shit hurt me because that's the type of shit I resonate with. When I go outside, 'cause I was really outside all the time when I was young.
Yeah.
And whatever I seen outside, if you can, formulate that into a joke at that age for me, I was like, oh, I understand. Because a lot of that shit you don't really get until you get to going through life and being able to understand a joke for real. But all the shit that I remember from being a youngin' was the shit that I used to see outside and a nigga would say, and your shit all Bad Boys of Comedy, my nigga, like that shit right there. You know what I mean? When you did that Ruben Studdard, my nigga. I'm talking about when you turned around and then turned back around and that
nigga. I'm sorry. That's how.
Hey, man, listen, that was my shit in 04 too. This is my sorry for 2004.
This the hat for everybody had a Von Dutch they wore like this.
Right. Yeah, nigga, like for real. And I ain't gonna mess up no more.
Everybody had a wallet and shit. You had a wallet.
Yeah. I'm sorry for the lie. Sorry. That nigga came out with that shit, man. He was on fire. Man, what happened to Ruben Studdard, my nigga? Does he still sing? I ain't heard nothing.
Studdard be doing plays and shit. Ruben do plays and stuff like that. But he threatened me on This Is 50 one time. That shit was funny. Jack Thriller was like, you know my nigga Ronnie Jordan do a Ruben joke, and the shit cut to the Ruben joke. He said, I heard about him. He said, I'm looking for you, Ronnie Jordan. I'm looking for it's an old This Is 50 episode. They'll find it. I'm telling you, man, that shit is some funny.
That nigga
shit.
Threatened you?
He threatened me on camera, man. It was hilarious. I met him a couple times. He's way taller than me too, Chico. That nigga, I was like, hey, this nigga about 6'5". I was like, God damn.
Man, that nigga there, they didn't do a good job of making his image be threatening. I tell you that, but
yeah, that nigga looked happy and tickled.
Yeah, he was the hat when that nigga when you turned around and goddamn. I said, oh my God.
Why that nigga look like that? He been eating sweet tarts all day.
No, nigga. That was just classic shit. And it's just like now, let me ask you this. Do you think that it's a space for those shows to exist now in today's climate?
Yes, I do. Nigga, Darren Brand just shot Darren Brand and Friends, and I got a Funky 15 on that bitch, and I'm talking about them Atlanta Water Boys and everything. I'm going crazy. And that bitch dropped the 23rd. I think it's you gonna have to shoot one. Chico Bean and some new niggas, and Carlos and some new niggas, and you know what I'm saying? Like everybody ain't never gonna stop being ready to laugh. So it's like it's up to us to find the next niggas and tell people about the next niggas, like we've been doing anyway. It's different formats, but I think I think they could bring the old BET Comic Views out right now, and the BET Plus app will shoot out the roof. The stock will go crazy. Like, because I don't know what it is. It's somebody who owns all the masters, a dude named Boogeyman, but I don't know what the business is, but I will watch every single old comic view right now, and then they can reboot the motherfucker, and I'll watch it again, because niggas is at home. It's so many new funny niggas, and they got new techniques, and motherfuckers use visuals. Imagine if you got an Instagram nigga that know how to use visuals in some new setting type of shit, where he could throw clips up during his set, like on some new shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think we just got to make up the new shit, man. Fuck it.
Oh, I got you. I mean, I don't know. Like, I always think about that. Like, is there still space for, those type of shows that we grew up watching comedy on? Is there still a place for it to exist? Because, the attention span is 15 to 60 seconds now. It's not the same as it was before. So, you know what I mean? Just the development, like, you got to think about commercials. Like, that was a part of the process. Now, you don't even have any, even have anything built, no playlist built up to even watch a commercial now. So you can't present it the same way. So I always wonder if it's going.
I think you gotta get. It's gonna be you picking the talent. It was gonna make it hit. It's gonna be like you gotta get them niggas who get you right away, or maybe it's the thing where you got the Instagram niggas and it leads into a joke or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a Laugh Tracks was both of them. It was basically a skit and the joke, but I don't think it was on the right. You know, I don't think if it was on HBO Max then, it's on HBO Max now. But I think shit like that can go right now, and I think maybe it's a shorter form, and maybe it's everybody do like you chop them one joke at a time, and one episode is 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know.
Right.
But I think it's all good, man. I think y'all got it, man. Shit. And that last 85 vibe, nigga, y'all talking about the shit I done did.
Oh yeah, you ain't seen what I seen?
You ain't seen what I seen.
You ain't seen what I seen, yeah. And all that shit was freestyle, man. That's the beauty of it. Like we don't practice nothing. Like we just, you know, when he called us up and said he wanted to freestyle with us, we showed up, went up and got it going, man. And it's like to be able to create like that and create a space where we can create like that without any restriction, where you don't have to follow a script. That opens up a lot more for your creativity and what we do. Because, you know, a lot of these places, they show up and they got a script and they got a, you know what I mean? They got something that need to be followed. You know what I'm saying? They got an agenda that you have to attend to before you can get into what you do. So when you create something that you can do whatever you want to do, it just opens up your mind so much more because you got the freedom you got the freedom to fuck up if you want to. You got the freedom to be able to say whatever you want to and be able to be free to you know, twist the pendulum a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So that's the beauty of it, man. Like what we able to do over there, we run that shit. So we can do whatever we want to do. And that's how you end up getting what you saw because he was able to hang with what we do. A lot of people come in and they can't do that shit. But young nigga was ready. He was ready to seize that opportunity. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like opportunity is you know, it's abundant if you're ready to seize it when it comes because each time you get one, if you're ready to attack it and seize it, then it's just going to lead to you having more and more. But you got to be ready to go when somebody call you and tell you it's ready, it's time to go.
But y'all been doing that forever though. Like y'all freestyle at the drop of a hat. That's what I think that's the only thing I regret not doing early in my career is fucking around and rhyming a lot. Like I was like, yeah, you know, big nigga try to be cool and shit. It's like I don't like to look stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like
fuck looking stupid.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was on that early. So it's like, you know, and I just when I got to the Wild 'N Out, like the writing, I was like, it's a lot of goddamn rapping in this one, but y'all being funny fast as hell. So,
and that's a real training. Like that's a real training. You gotta be quick because a nigga say something to you, and that's what I tell people all the time. The joke is not the hard part in Wild 'N Out. The rebuttal is what's the tough part. Because a nigga say something to you and you ain't never heard nothing like that before, and you gotta respond, and it's a mean one. Like, and sometimes you gotta, and that's how you gotta know. Like, sometimes you just gotta bow out because ain't nothing you gonna be able to say back gonna be funnier than what a nigga said to you.
That's the most thing I learned about. Like I was, you know, my one season, I'm a cap on it because that shit was not easy, and y'all niggas are all like superhero Marvel men type shit. So it's like, nigga, when the way y'all respond back so fast and the shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was gonna say. The thing that makes y'all dopey is y'all know when it's too big. All right, that moment is there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can say. You gotta let that one go, my nigga. Like when Casita called me Uncle Phil that episode, it was like, nigga, it's over with. There's nothing I could do. Man, that nigga D-Ray told Charlie Clips he seen that nigga swiping on his phone on chicken tender, nigga. That's the part that I miss. That's the part that I miss, man. Them jokes, man. I hate that the shit happened the way it happened with Wild 'N Out specifically, but that's the part I miss, man. Being in them rooms and just hearing niggas just say some of the wildest shit that you can say to each other, man. That shit is classic.
I have never been as funny as being like just in that writer's, like in that atmosphere. Yeah. I was going and doing shows and wishing the nigga would try to roast. And I was
right. Like, after that, you ready.
Over with, bro.
Man, listen. After I seen what you did to the nigga at the Laughing Gas in Winston, niggas don't know. If you don't know, Ronnie Jordan is one of the coldest niggas when it comes to that comedy, man. This nigga had this old nigga at the comedy club that didn't shut up, man. This nigga, we outside chilling. The nigga Tyler ran and got us like, hey, man, y'all niggas got to come in. This nigga Ronnie cooking this nigga. Man, we come back in the club. This nigga right here that I'm on this FaceTime with right now, this live, made me cry and made my chest burn. So I couldn't stop laughing at the shit this nigga was saying. It was nonstop, over and over and over. And Buddy kept trying to respond. And the shit just made it worse, man. That's one of the funniest shit I've ever seen, ever, dog. Like that. Oh, my God.
That's the funniest shit, because it's like, I've been fat. Like, I heard all the fat shit. I done been looking like this. So I'm going to roast me better than you anyway. But I've
right, that's what I tell, man. That's perfect. I tell people that all the time. Ain't a head joke. You could tell me that I ain't heard before. I grew up in a house full of niggas who didn't care about how you felt. Fuck your emotions, nigga. You bit, man. I remember my uncle Ert told my mama, he yelled upstairs to my mama, hey, Wanda, you gonna have to start hanging this little nigga upside down so we can grow right. Cause ain't no way in the world this nigga gonna be. This is some shit I heard when I was a little boy, nigga. So you gotta come better than just, oh, look at this nigga, Mega Mind and all that. I got all the jokes that you can tell. But I always tell people, I guarantee you, when I look at you, I'm gonna tell you something about you that you ain't never heard before. And
I did a college with Carlos and Darren, right? We did Arkansas Pine Bluff maybe a year ago. We roasted. I be forgetting y'all niggas. I don't roast my friends like I don't like them. It's weird for me. I roast people different as if I like. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So we roasted. And then Carlos said, Ronnie Jordan, like if Darren Brand gave up. I was like,
oh man, that nigga loasted with that so many times, man. I told that nigga he looked like the Duke Blue Devil, nigga. That nigga. we done went at it so many times, man. That nigga done said some of the wildest shit.
Hey.
What did he say to me, man? I can't think of what. It's so many jokes that nigga done told that done been so funny. But that's the thing. We just learned how to be. You know what I mean? I was motherfucking rollerblading, right? I had trying to learn how to roller skate. I sent that nigga DC a video of me rollerblading. That nigga said, "Nigga, you skate like a bear," and I just see one of them bears in the circus, nigga. Nigga said I skate like a circus bear, nigga. A circus bear. Like, you know what I mean? But that's the thing. You gotta love that type of shit. So when you're not so caught up in your own ego to where you can't take a joke, then you'll be able to formulate some dope shit. And I think that's what make all of us different. We can get in the room and not be offended. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember the last college we did? Was it Alabama State or Alabama A&M?